just something there I was kind of working on, and thought maybe somebody'd like to see it and maybe get an idea or two out of it, and kind of been taking my time on it. Actually drew it up and designed it on a CAD system, an AutoCAD system, but kind of helps draw things on paper and get them kind of close to right before you go welding stuff together and cutting. It's heavy. I mean, this table, that's all 3.5-inch square, 1/4-inch wall steel tubing, and that's some bucks heavy. But that's what the casters are for, and even with the casters, I think I'm going to have to put a trailer hitch on it, because put a kind of a hurting on old man hauling this thing around too far. It's alright to move around the shop here, but wouldn't want to go too far with it, not without some power equipment. Here's another thing here. I just don't know what I'm going to do here, but I welded that. There's a 1-inch nut there welded, and it goes through, so I can put a clamp bolt, and then inside the end of that tube there I could put a piece of 3-inch square tubing, kind of along the same lines as that pipe, and kind of make an extension. But I went ahead and did that, but I don't know what kind of attachments I need or ever use there, so I don't know if I'll do anything with that ever, but it's there if I ever needed it. Just drill a 1-inch hole and weld yourself a nut on there and make you one of them clamp bolts. And all these clamp bolts, I just made them out of some threaded rod and whatever, welded them together and drilled them, or whatever it took. And see them vice things, that's just some 1-inch threaded rod, goes through there, and got the homemade wing nuts on there, and hopefully that'll work out pretty good for doing some woodworking, metalworking, or whatever kind of thing there. Got like a vise thing there. Same thing on that side. Piece of 2-inch schedule 80 goes up through that tubing, and it's welded on the top and the bottom. Drill them holes out of there with a 2 3/8 hole saw, and actually used a cordless 1/2-inch drill on it, and it took a while and it took a few batteries, but got her done. But the whole table there, that's some 3.5-inch square. It's originally a scrap rack out of a warehouse. I got them, and they were scrap amounts, so I took them and made a few things out of them, and I had to add some extensions to the legs down there because they were a little short. And then on that side there, got the casters down there. Got some. And then here we got just a thing I made up to hold some aerosol cans or whatever. You could stick a hammer handle in there or whatever. It comes off of there, and put it anywhere you want on there. Just some bent up steel and some 3-inch schedule 40 pipe cut and welded up a little bit. And then we got here, I put an outlet in there, a weatherproof outlet. And what that does is the wires go down through the tube and come out the end here, and then you just hook that up to extension cord, and you got your plug there on. Forever switching cords around and stuff, it's kind of a pain. So I put that on there. And then this here, it ain't quite finished, but come over here, and there's a angle iron frame there on the end, down on the working end, and eventually I'll put some sheet metal in there and make either a storage box out of it, or slide a toolbox up in there or something like that, or put some tools in there. This here, these are just some things I made quite a long time ago, and they seem like they're going to work pretty good on here. They're just some big old angle iron welded together. And somewhere else I got, around here somewhere, I got 3 more of them, so they're kind of for fixturing things up, making some frames and stuff like that. You can clamp your tubing or angle or channel or whatever to them and get them pretty close to square. And give you some room to weld them and stuff like that. And kind of painted them, keep the weld slag off it. Down there, and all this down here, this is this stuff here is like I say, you can see if I can get this here. Kind of hard to do this, but this here will turn and go up and down and everything in that pipe, and then you clamp it with them bolts you've seen before. What that is, it's 2 2-inch Schedule 80 pipe, and structural guys know that is extra strong, but the reason I use that is not that it had to be that strong, but the idea on it fits an 1.5-inch pipe a lot better than a Schedule 40 standard pipe does, so I use that Schedule 80. Them pipes there, them are 1.5 inches that fit up in there. They fit in there pretty good, you know. See this here clamps that, so you loosen that up and show you. It got a little play, you know, when it's loose in there, but not much, just enough to get it up in there. And that there's 1.5 inch Schedule 80, but it don't have to be. It's just what I had, and it standard 1.5 inch would work fine, because the OD on any kind of 1.5 inch pipe's going to be the same. But there's a little better view of that vise there, and just something I made up that'll hold some things. As you can see, the table's still got a little dog ugly to it because it ain't finished, it ain't painted or nothing, but I'm sure I'd get some video on it. And this here table, that worked out pretty good, but my wife just told me she said I should have made that table longer, and then it would be kind of an extension table for that vise, which would be a pretty good idea, but I ain't quite smart as her, so I didn't think of that. But that table was a little longer. I don't know if you could see it here, but it don't quite, you know, line up with that vise. But you know, I suppose if the guy made that a little bit longer, it'd be a extension for that vise, and you could hold some longer stuff. But I got some extra pipe here that can make different attachments with to fit up in them pipes. I was thinking about making a V-stand and stuff for doing pipe work and stuff like that. That'll come along, or whatever got to be done here around the place. Always seem to be doing something. Always something to do. But say we're getting a few of the parts painted up, and one of these days maybe it'll look kind of a little bit prettier. And my wife's just telling me she wants to paint the frame like a orange and have black fittings to it. She said that'd look nice. I was thinking machine or gray, but you know how that goes. It's my wife wants a color. That's what color it's going to be. But actually, that orange and black might look pretty good, I suppose. But we'll see how that comes out. But got a lot more work to do on it, and hopefully here over the winter, and as the weather gets a little nastier and gets a little harder to get on them horses and stuff, I'll get some time to work on stuff like this, and we'll get her done. So thanks for looking here, and hopefully maybe pick up an idea or two, and go ahead and leave a comment or a question or something, and hope this comes out alright. I'm doing it on a little Canon digital camera, and trying the movie thing is kind of driving me nuts. It keeps saying busy. What the hell is it busy for? I don't know what the hell it's doing, but we'll see how it comes out. I'll put it on the computer and see if I can edit it up or do something with it and make it look presentable, so I don't look like an idiot. But we'll see what it looks like. I was just trying things out here. It's the first time I really took a movie with this thing. I don't know if you even hear me on this thing. I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. It turns out really bad. I guess you ain't never going to see it, but it turns out halfway decent. Here it is, you know. But that there's the table. See if I get you an overall view of that thing and see that messy old shop. But yeah, that's kind of the table. Isometric view of it. One of them CAD people. But hopefully that'll all come out, and we'll see where she goes from here. And like I say, thanks for looking.